The VP9sk with the push button mag release. Let's check it out. Now, the VP9 was introduced by H&K in 2014, and they went through 90,000 round test on these things. I mean, they are durable, they're tough. The VP stands for Volks pistol, which is for Folk pistol in 9mm. It also comes in the VP40, but this is the third striker fire pistol by HK. The first one was the VP40, which was the first polymer frame striker fire pistol ever. And then the P7, which was also a striker fire, which had the squeeze cocker. In 2017, they introduced the VP9sk, which has the paddle mag release, just like the VP9. But in 2020, they introduced the B model, which is a push button mag release. And so right here, American shooters were demanding it. They also have a model in the standard VP9. Just makes it really easy to pop out. And guys, to be honest, that is the only difference. But we're going to do a full review. I'm going to show you a lot of the features of the VP9 because it is one of my favorite striker fire pistols. And guys, honestly, we live in the golden age of firearms. If you can't find a handgun that fits you, you're just not looking. And guys, in full disclosure, HK sent the VP9sk B for this test and evaluation. And guys, I'm telling you, you're going to love this pistol if you ever get one in your hand. Guys, as far as quality goes, the VP9 from HK has been a huge hit. I mean, it is just solid. And of course, HK already has a strong reputation for durability and for accuracy. And I mean, it's just a well-known company for making really great firearms. Let's go ahead and make sure the gun is unloaded. We're going to hit our push button mag release, drop our 10-round magazine. It does have a finger extension. The original paddle designs actually came with two 10 rounds with a flat base. And the gun is unloaded. You'll notice that the magazine fits right in this little notch with the grip. You have a little small area right here. You can pull this out for malfunction drills, so it allows you to rip that magazine out. It also comes with a 13-round magazine with a spacer, and then you can fit your standard full-size HK P30 magazines or VP9 magazines in this pistol. Of course, when you're putting in a 15-round magazine, you know, it does hang out here, but there are spacers that you can get to make this flush. Gives you a full-size grip on the handgun. Now, the big thing about the VP9sk B model is this push-button mag release. And it is right here on the frame, which is standard for most of your American firearms. I mean, this is what we're used to. And really, you can hit it without hardly adjusting your grip. And I have fairly medium-sized hands. And so if you have larger hands, you'll easily be able to hit it. But one of the things I noticed was I never inadvertently hit it. It has some nice texturing to it, and you can switch it to the other side. And then here with the original VP9sk with the paddle design, we'll go ahead and drop our magazine. Again, it does come with two flush fit magazine bases, but it is 10 rounds. And the gun is unloaded. The big difference is the paddle release. And I like to use my trigger finger to hit that, but of course you can use your thumb if you want to. I really like the paddle design. It's really easy, it's intuitive, but there's just a lot of people that really prefer that grip mounted mag release. And so, you know, if you've trained with it a long time and that's what you're used to, you know, you really want to go with it. And that's the reason why HK developed the push button model. They also have the VP9 in the full size with the push button as well. And speaking of full size VP9s, we have one right here. Now this is the paddle mag release, and it does have the OD frame. I'll give it a little bit of a size comparison. You can see it just comes out just a little bit longer, and then at the bottom, now without the finger rest, and you put one of those flush fit magazines, it'll make it much smaller. But you can see you're getting, you know, really 5 more rounds right here with the standard VP9. HK VP9sk, 1 pound, 8.6 ounces. Standard VP9, 1 pound, 10.6 ounces. Now, one of the things about the VP9 is there are some unique features about it. One of the first things are these cocking ears on the back. And these are removable. You can put a space in here and just make it flat or flush. But it really allows you to be able to grip that slide much easier. And it gives you a little bit of leverage on those little ears. And they're not really obtrusive, so they're pretty flat to the frame, or they don't stick out that much. You do have, of course, rear and front cocking serrations, and they're ample. You do have an accessory rail, which a lot of times on some of the subcompacts you don't get that. Square trigger guard, which gives you ample room for your gloved hands. But the grip, to me, is one of the things about the VP9 that kind of separates it from most of your other Striker Fire pistols. It's so ergonomic. I mean, you put your hand in it, it just molds right into your hand. And it does have this kind of a slight finger groove effect at the front, but it's very abbreviated, but yet you can feel it right there. The laser etching, it's kind of like some squiggly lines, and it really gives you good traction. Now, we do have 3 different options for your back strap, and this one is the medium. So you can really fit your hand, and then on the sides, you have 2 other options for it. And so you can get a little bit of a palm swell, or you can change this out. You can have one side large and the other side small. I mean, it gives you, again, a very customizable feature on this firearm. We have steel sights that are luminescent. And actually, if you put a flashlight to it, or it's in any kind of light, it's going to give you some night capability. But they do have tritium sights that you can replace. Now, also, you'll notice this little red dot. And this is a cocked striker indicator. So when we pull the trigger, it disappears. And that just lets you know that the striker is cocked. It's not necessarily that you have a loaded round in the chamber. But we do have a loaded chamber indicator right here, and you can see a little bit of the red. Now we're going to place a dummy round into the magazine. And here the red shows up just a little bit more. It is a little bit tactile. You can't really feel it that well, actually. But you can see that there is a round in the chamber. You have your cocked striker indicator back here. You have your slide lock. Goes into battery. It's somewhat abbreviated, and you have it also on the other side. And then we have our takedown lever right here. The barrel is cold hammer forged, and according to HK, it's cannon grade steel. I mean, these have actually been shot over 90,000 rounds through them without any major malfunction. And so they're very durable. The barrel is 3.39 inches in length. Slide has a matte finish to it, but it's what HK calls their hostile environment finish, and it's impregnated into the metal. It's going to keep wear down, and again, it's going to keep this from getting any kind of corrosion. Now, on the VP9 series, the trigger is excellent, especially for a Striker Fire pistol. You're not getting as much of that mush as you get with the Glock and some of the others. Now, the trigger has one of the blade safeties, and this is going to disengage the trigger unless you get a full grip on the surface of the trigger. And so we come right here, we have a little take up, and then a nice break. I mean, it is crisp. And then reset right there, and then back on it. Let's check our trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. 4 pounds, 7 ounces. 4 pounds, 4.1 ounces. I want to thank Fiocchi for sponsoring the ammo, all made right here in the USA. This is good shooting stuff, guys. And also I want to thank Lula Loaders for saving my thumbs. Well, guys, there's definitely not any difference when shooting with the VP9sk with the push button or the paddle release, mag release. I mean, there's no difference. One of the things, though, I really love about the VP9, as I've talked about, is that it's just really ergonomic. And it's one of the most adaptable grips that you can get. I mean, with the side panels, you can interchange, and of course, 3 different bag straps. Gives you a multitude of different ways to fit it to your hand. And guys, we're all different shapes, all different sizes. And so that really gives a lot of comfort when shooting. I mean, you can really dial it in. Also, with these ears at the back for the cocking ears, it makes it so simple to be able to pull back. It just gives you a little bit of leverage. You're not worried about your hand slipping off of the slide when you're pulling it. Obviously, the only difference between these 2 pistols is the mag release. Insert your mag. Right here is your paddle. Now, I like to use my index finger or my trigger finger to drop that magazine. And you know, that's one thing you get used to, but if you really want to bring it out, you have to reach a little farther to get it on the trigger guard. So you're gonna have to really adjust your grip. But if you like this and you're used to this, of course you can get accustomed to it real fast. Now we have the button release, put it in. I can almost hit it with my thumb, and my thumbs are not that long. So if you have long thumbs, it's real easy to be able just to get around to it. You've got to do it on purpose. I mean, it's not like you're going to accidentally hit it, but it definitely comes out really fast. And then again, you can switch it to the other side if you want to. So really, it's just a matter of personal taste. And because a lot of Americans like this style mag release, it's one of the reasons why HK went ahead and made a separate model. But to be honest with you, I really like the paddle release. My son Seth, he loves the button release. It's all about personal preference. The HK VP9 is the most ergonomic pistol on the market, in my opinion. I've invested thousands and thousands of rounds in Glocks, and so I just pick one up and I naturally shoot it. But the grip comes nowhere near what the VP9 does. And I brought out a few comparisons to check against the VP9sk. One is the Walther PPQ-SC, which is for subcompact. This one holds 10 rounds, but it also comes with a 15-round magazine with an extension. Really, as far as overall length, they are very close. But when it comes to grip length, it's actually a little smaller, even with the flush base plate. 10 rounds, 10 rounds. And then, of course, you know, it's Walther quality, and the PPQ has really proven itself to be an excellent firearm. One thing, though, about the PPQ-SC is that there is hardly anything here to grip. I mean, it feels like it's going to come out of your hand. Very much like the Glock 26. But they do have the extension, and really, I would probably opt to get a little bit of a finger groove right here, or a finger base pad, to give it more feel to it. But really, the ergonomics of the PPQ are excellent, but it is really short. Next, we have the CZ P10S. This is their subcompact. It does have a 12-round magazine, and so it's a little bit longer. The slide is just a touch longer, probably about maybe an 1/8 of an inch, not very much. But with the grip, it actually comes into the same place as your standard VP9sk with a flush fit magazine. And that's only 10 rounds. And so when you add that 12 rounds, it actually extends it out a little bit. But the CZ P10S has a really solid grip to it. It's fairly thin. I really like the grip on this, and it has the pyramid shapes all the way through, so you get a good grip to it, but there are a lot of smooth areas that are all the way through it. One thing about the HK is the grip is just, it's small, but yet just fits in your hand. I mean, there's something just really ergonomic about the way this fits. And so I really love that VP9 grip. But the P10S definitely has a good solid grip. It's not so thick right here, and I really like that. Plus you're getting 12 rounds. Then we have the tried and true Glock 26. Now this is actually a 27, but it's the exact same size. I'm gonna go ahead and compare these two together. It's shorter on the slide, and yet with the grip, it's considerably shorter. But for me, whenever I carry a Glock 26, I usually carry a little bit of a finger extension right here to give me just a little bit of extra. But we do have 10 rounds. And guys, I've said this a number of times, we live in the golden age of firearms. There are so many really good choices out there for you to find the gun that fits you just right. When my son Seth decided he wanted to pick out a home defense firearm, he picked out the VP9, and it's actually the B model. He really likes it, and I'll tell you, we take it shooting quite a bit, and they're just excellent firearms all the way around. You know, and the P30, which is a double single action, they also make an SK version, and it's just excellent if you like double single action. You get a hard case with HK labeled on it, and then we get our pistol with a 10-round magazine and a finger extension, plus the 13-round magazine with the spacer. We get a mag loader. We also get 2 extra back straps and 2 sets of side grips. So again, guys, you can customize this pistol to fit whatever you're looking for. And the owner's manual, the sticker, and a lock. So HK has a pretty full line of different VP9 pistols, whether you like the paddle release or you like the button release, and if you like it 9mm or if you like it in 40. So there's a lot of different options, plus the long slide. And it comes with HK quality, which is world renowned, and I really don't need to tout them because they are just exceptional handguns. The price on these runs anywhere from about $550 to $600 and a little bit above, just according to where you find it, according to what model. And again, I want to thank HK for sending the VP9sk B Model for this test and evaluation. Guys, if you depend on a firearm for self-defense, whether concealed carry or even home defense, having some kind of legal protection is vital. I'm a member of the USCCA. I've been a member for the past 3 years, and it is just peace of mind. You know that someone has your back if you ever get yourself in a tough situation where you have to draw your firearm. If you are carrying concealed, you should definitely have some kind of legal protection. Now, I'll have a link down below in the description to the USCCA membership page. It is an affiliate link, and I know that if anything ever goes down, I have a friend with USCCA. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Really rise above a lot of the striker. But there's a lot of things with a flat. You're not going to get that. And of course, this is based on the standard. And I can still hit that mag release. Whoa! This actually comes off, does it? Manual lock, and you get a